There are many questions. Slowly, I will respond to each question. Today, I am talking about the psychological question which is put from here. I have been following a guru, Indian guru, and I went to India and he gave me the name certificate and his mala and photo and a new name, a sannyas. And after few years, I got psychological ill. As you talk in your talks that we aware, we careful of false gurus, and you also warn about the authorities, the spiritual authorities, sects and gurus and masters who are exploiting humanity. And the same happened in my life. I have got tremendous fear to go out from my house. I feel that something can happen. I feel unstable, unprotected, and continuous in fear. But in spite of these things, I tried everything to get rid of these things, but it is very difficult. I have been following this so-called enlightened master many years and believed in him, but when I realized that it was false, his teachings, and he was accumulating enormous money and many hundreds of expensive watches, cars, diamonds, properties, and consuming tremendous drugs and other things. My illusion got broken, but I got this fear. I cannot get rid of it. Please throw the light on it. Further, I totally am agree what you are talking, that one should never follow anybody, because following is the process of becoming attached to the person, and attachment is, as you say, very destructive. Please guide me and show me to get out from this situation. Listen carefully with all your attention. This question is from here, from Europe. Why I am always mention that spiritual authority is destructive, dangerous, and will lead you to the false direction. Why I always say it? Because it is happening, it has happened. Individually, I am not against any person, whosoever he or she is, these so-called enlightened people, enlightened master or these so-called enlightened gurus, I don't like to comment on these people because they are not worth to comment on. But since many people write me and ask the question, therefore I am just throwing the light on the facts. And you should understand the facts. When you understand the facts, you are free from these illusory facts. So, I'm not criticizing, but I'm just showing you the reality. First of all, you blame to these false masters and gurus who declare themselves as supreme enlightened Mahagurus, Sadguru, Bhagwans, Shri 108 and Param Pujya Mother Maharishis, Rishis, Puja Rishis, Babas, all these spiritual titles they put on before their name to befool you, to get the grip on your neck, to exploit you psychologically, physically, emotionally, to get your money, not only to get your money, but they demand directly or indirectly your respects, that you should regard them as an enlightened person, that they are enlightened and you are not. They know and you don't. Since you are conditioned to follow since thousands of years the traditional of Guru Chela tradition, disciple guru relationship, since thousands of years, you have been poisoned that you have to surrender. You have to follow gurus. Only then you can get the truth, which is absolutely false. Because truth doesn't appoint any agent to represent it as guru or master. They have no authorities. They have no access to represent the truth. Truth itself is so vast, has incredible strength to communicate by itself directly. Therefore, between you and truth, no agent is needed. It is a fact. But if you can understand this simple fact, then the all guru business is gone. The guru industries, which is based on multi-million or multi-billion dollar industry, will be pulled out and fall down. So this conspiracy is being repeated continuously since thousands of years, because these so-called gurus and master, they know that they are not only having the money but also respect and hierarchy. People come and touch their feet, they sit down and listen their nonsense, their borrowed knowledge from real teachers. They are borrowed second-hand knowledge they collect by reading thousands of books from Western world and Eastern so-called holy books. They mix together and give you the formula for the enlightenment or samadhi. Ranjana has asked, is samadhi, moksha is samadhi? Is it the moksha that is samadhi? There is no such things like samadhi. Moksha is not that you will go and take a bath in Gangas and do holy pujas in temples and mosques and churches, then you will get moksha. Or surrender to a master or guru and do meditation. They are conditioned meditation, then you will get moksha and samadhi. It is all nonsense and childish and sheer stupidity. Actually, moksha means absolute freedom. Absolute freedom means that you have the self-knowledge, the knowledge of the self that removes the self, and then you are innocent. Such things like samadhi does not exist. Only these commercial people, commercial gurus, masters, they advocate for samadhi, that they were in samadhi and when they died to make samadhi, to possess you. Actually, great teachers never talked about samadhi. They are awakened one only. When there is no self, then what is the need of samadhi? The person is fully illuminated. And this illumination is then irrevocable. Then you need not these things, because inside this awakening flame is always there. Without effort, you are just awake, you are aware. What is happening around you, what is happening in the world. That is total freedom. That is not there's this so-called moksha, which is conditioned that you will get in moksha after death. It's nonsense. You should be free while you are having the body, when you are living now. You must be free. Because you are not free when you perform the actions in your relationship. You are slaves. You lie. You are saying one thing, doing the other. You are contradictory. And your contradiction is so vast that doesn't allow you the freedom. So you are not free. in your actions. That's why you demand a moksha. That's why there is moksha created by these so-called commercial spiritual authorities. They say there is moksha for you greedy people who are filled by fear because you cannot face the life, you cannot face the death, you cannot face the ups and downs of the life. So imagine you imagine the freedom which is existing somewhere in the sky, like paradise. Your religions, your sects promise after death paradise, as Christianity promises, as a Muslim promise paradise. And all religions promise you after death there is paradise. But it is absolutely false, because if you are not free while you are living, while you are breathing, now, right now, you will be having the same thing, same slavery, same suffering, sorrow, fear after death. It will continue. If your life is not mutating right now, which is full of energy, you are still breathing, your organs are still active, your heart is still pumping the blood, your brain is still thinking and feeling. If you cannot change in this living things, how afterwards, when these all organs or things will be cold and dead after death, how you can get paradise? Who will get paradise? There's nothing. You're dead and finished. You understand me? So, there is no such things like samadhi, which is the invention of these so-called spiritual gurus to influence you that they are in samadhi. And you people believe it. In fact, they are not in samadhi, they are equally full of fear, full of greed, even more than you, befooling you by their so-called knowledge in many direction. They have created, accumulated the knowledge. They have answer for everything. You just answer you question anything, they will answer you immediately, because they have prepared all answered. I'm not answering you. I don't know any answers. I'm just throwing the light on the facts. I'm not providing you any answers. On the contrary, I will throw contra questions to awaken your brain so you can see the things as they are. This is what real teaching is. So there is absolute freedom, but this absolute freedom which you call moksha is only possible while you are living right now. You should change. If you are asking this question, it has no validity, because you will keep on doing your routine, your stupidity, your nonsense, your greed and fear. So why do you ask this question if you don't want to change? If you want to change, if you are interested in absolute freedom, then you should change right now. Otherwise, why do you ask? Now, I come back to the original question you have asked. The person from Germany, he says he followed this man and he changed his name and gave him certificates and his mala photos and all these childish things and material things. But now where he is having tremendous fear to get out from his house because he has feared something can happen. He feels continuously unsafe and a kind of paranoia. Now you understand this word. This word, you know, your paranoid disorder. What is it? What's it? Most of your gurus, present gurus and the past gurus are and were suffering from PPD. What is PPD? PPD means paranoid personality disorder. You understand, it is a psychological disease. Actually, it exists. Mostly your so-called enlightened persons were suffering and are suffering from this disease. It means these people who identified themselves that they are enlightened, they are Bhagwan, God, they are Savior, they are Sadgurus. They really start believing and identify with these words. And similar character the followers having, otherwise they will not follow these gurus. So you can't blame only these gurus because you followers are the similar categories, similar character, similar wavelength, similar level. That's why you follow. Now listen. So the followers and your masters, they suffer from PPD. Paranoid is driven from paranoia, which means delusion. Having a mental delusion to identify with a great thing. Such person then changes his name continuously and changes the name of his followers and give them Sanskrit names and explain the name means, for example, such and such Swami Ananda and this Nanda and Ma and all this so-called business. And then you think that you are a now new person because you have received the name, the breed, the mala and photo and certificate from this enlightened person who promises you to help you in meditation and give you the enlightenment, or so-called this samadhi. So you are conditioned to believe that this person is giving me directly, so it will be very helpful. But in fact, you will be landing in a psychological disorder and you have then no possibilities to get out of it. You will create the hell of this so-called spirituality and you can see what is happening to you. It has happened. Many people, they wrote me similar like you. So you are not alone. There are many people who are having a similar position. But once you are depending, then it is very difficult to get out from this dependence. This is the law. That's why from the very beginning you should deny these things and never get caught in it. But since you always want somebody who will guide you, who will help you, you get caught in the network of this commercial spiritual business of guru and followers market. Do you understand what I'm talking? Because actually you are not a true that you really want to know the beauty, the love, truth, and the source of all beings, the energy, the source of ultimate ground from where everything comes into being. You don't want actually that. You are only interesting to follow the material things such as ritual, or follow some meditation, this is material. Or changing name is also material. It is a name, it's a verse. Or having a mala or photo, it is a Bud, it is a Bud, nothing. It was a tree before. It's material things. It is nothing spiritual. But you are really funny people. And then you blame afterwards when the results comes. After a few years, your illusion is broken. Then it's too late. You get mental ill. Then your brain is destroyed, brainwashed, and then to come out, to heal again is a big work. It is very, very rare that you can come out. So you have realized what I'm talking. There is truth in it, a fact. But now you have realized it. But only intellectual level, but still you are in that system. You have left these things. You have left now this game, childish game, name and so-called sannyas and all this mind, swamis and gurus and all this stupidity. But your brain has already damaged in these years when you were in this structure living, that how you can heal it. It's really, now you need much hard work. What is the hard work now? First, whatsoever happened. Now you discard all these things in a garbage. Throw it, all these so-called spiritual names, and never demand from anybody to be helped, because help in a spiritual world does not exist. The real teacher does not help you, but he loves. That's why that love touches you. And only love can change you, not the help. Help can please you for a while, but cannot bring you the transformation in your consciousness. So the real teacher does not help you. Buddha never helped anybody. He just pointed out, it is unto you that you walk or see the direction he's pointing out. He's just saying that don't go in this direction because you are going this direction since thousands and thousands of years. Now go totally opposite to it. Experiment it. But going in one direction, you lose so much energy that you don't have energy to turn back, because then you get so tired, so tortured, so fatigued, so disappointed that you don't have that a little energy that you can turn back from these things and go in other direction. But few can do that still. If you can see that this direction was not only dangerous but false, you must see it. Not intellectually, but you must see it as a fact. Because life is very subtle, very deep, not superficial. You have made superficial by these superficial gurus and masters and their shallow, petty, poisonous teachings, which they have invented for you to get tremendous power, wealth, respect, success, fame, and name. They are business people, spiritual business people. Why don't you understand it? But you have created them. You are equally false. You support them. They support you. So this game goes on. And when you realize it, then it's too late. Then you're already old and finished. So never stop. It is better to live in the darkness of ignorance, if it is yours own, than to follow somebody's false truth. There is no wrong to live a material life, but there is wrong when you live material life but you show that you are living spiritual life. You create the contradiction. Only one thing you must remember and put in action, that never create a single thing, a single contradictive behavior. What you are, you must show that only. What you are not, you should not begin from there. Then you can come out. When you realize false as a false, then the false falls down and finished forever. Then the right thing starts. Right things cannot start until the false is not fall down. Until the false is not discarded and thrown out by understanding its falseness behavior, falseness nature. When you see it, you don't have to do anything. Then the energy itself gathers to come out from it. You will never go and fall again in the same pit. You will not get caught in the same rut. But if you play the game again even you will get the new teachings, you will create there also the same rut, because you are the same person. So don't hate and blame these so-called bhagwans and so-called enlightened peoples. You have created them. You have created the gods out of your fear. So you must not blame them, but work and see why it is coming in your life, from where it is coming. And you will find that deep down you are living in fear. From there springs all these things. So I have thrown the light on these things. I'm saying you there is truth, but this truth is unapproachable through your masters and gurus, and through you as well. You can't approach it because it is unknowable. You cannot know it. You cannot invite it. You cannot imagine about it. So what can you do then? First, never become the follower, never accept an authority, spiritual authority, such as savior, masters, gurus, sects, religions. Start facing the life every moment at it is, and do not say that the life should be this and this and this and that. But what life is, just move with it, move with it without psychological imposing on the fact, because life is a fact. And what you do, you impose the psychological contents on the life, and you try to push the life from the weight of your psychological contents. That's why in this point you create the contradiction between what fact is, which is life, and what illusion is, which is you. So the illusion which you are and the life which is the fact start having conflict, and you always are going to defeat it, because life energy is very vast. Your illusions are just having no strength to face the life strength. So what happens then? You get depressive, you get isolated, you get sick, ill, psychological disorders, or spiritual and neurotic behavior. As you can see, most followers and your mostly all gurus and masters are suffering from PPD. It is a fact. It is not I am saying. Because You have been told to follow, to find the truth, but you don't feel that passion, that thirst, that hunger, enormous energy. That and energy means tremendous holistic demand that I want, that I can't live like this. I cannot carry on this limited life. When you demand from your whole being, demand means not the desire. I mean, you understand, demand means that the interests, that that you want from your whole being, the real change in you. You never ask questions that why you living the way you are living, why don't you change totally? It's a work. So there is love, there is beauty, there is truth. But you have no contact with these holistic values. You have contact always with low level things. You are always busy in rituals, in meditations, in following authorities, changing names, changing your gods. These are all material and childish and nonsense. So you are always putting your energy there. You see this. Why? Why you do this? You should ask this. Why you do this? Why don't you go for the real things? The original things which can make you real happy, real healthy. Health means holistic. Health is driven from holy, which is whole is healthy. You never go for the real things. Why you hold on to the false things, your scriptures, your sects, your religions, your old masters, whosoever they are enlightened or not enlightened, just discard them, throw out. It doesn't matter who they are. They are dead. And you are also getting dead because you are identifying with these things. You must have relationship with the living things. Living things. The earth is breathing. The insects, the birds, minerals, rivers, oceans, sun, stars, moon, galaxies, they're all living things. You never watch them. You never watch a living color. You never sit down and just watch without giving the name a huge mango trees full of fragrance. But you are asking what is samadhi and moksha and all these theoretical things. If I say this, so what? What will happen in your life? You must be free now. And you can only be free now in the present when you are awake and attentive during your actions in your relationship. Because there you are caught in habits. So when you are aware, performing your actions, when you could be aware and attentive, then these actions do not come from the habits, but they get enlightened in the energy of, in the light of present attention. And then you are free. Then you are not forced to tell a lie. Because you are forced to tell a lie, you are forced to get greedy, you are forced by habits to get fear. You are always being forced. You have tremendous pressure to tell things which are not existing. So you are not free because you are bound to do this. Freedom is that you are not working under the force of false things. You are not working the influence of evil forces, which are habits. That's why you are not free. So there is no moksha, but when you can be now aware, you are in moksha, in freedom, right now. So now, listening to this, are you free? You got the freedom? If not, then you haven't heard. You did not hear, listen what I am saying. You will continue what you have been continuing since millions of years, because your brain is the evolution of millions of years. Your brains is not your brain, but the human brain which has evolved through shocks, many psychological wounds, many fears, many pleasures and pain and suffering, and many innumerable wars and killings. You have lived in these killings, continuous and participated. From there you have evolved. So it's a big chain. Can you break it down now? You can break it down immediately, right now. Because the brain is evolved through time, but breaking this time circle does not need time. That is the most great things, great present from universe, which you never use. Yeah? You never understand it. You always understand the time. The time, because you live in time pressure. But people like me come and say, time is the enemy of man. But you have been told that time is wealth, time is money, will heal my wounds. You say in your language, the time will come that everything will be okay, my psychological wounds will be healed. I need time. But you have been taken times, many millions. I am saying you are not new. You are as much old as the oldest particle of this earth. So that time could not change you. 4.5 billion years Earth age. Your age is the similar. You haven't changed. So time cannot change you. Time is conditioning. Why don't you understand it? Why do you listen these time oriented teachings? Time is always conditioning. Time is brainwash. Time is suffering. And time is limited. But beyond the time, which is not time, is there just now. In now, this word now contains no time, and this now changes you, can change you, and can wash away all your brainwash, can cleanse your all brainwash from your guru's master and false teachings, and as you yourself lived as a false followers. Everything can be washed away within seconds, and that is the strength of now. Namaste. I will come back for the other question.